What if Ne Zha had embraced his demonic side? In this alternate Ne Zha 2 universe, the hero turns into a demon god, threatening gods, dragons, and humans alike. Witness fire, chaos, and epic battles in a story where destiny is shattered and the world is forever changed. This is the Ne Zha you've never seen before. Are you ready for this alternative ending story? Take a deep breath and let's go. In the beginning, there was chaos. Before the birth of light, before the rise of heroes, there was the endless struggle between the divine and the damned. And within that eternal storm, a prophecy was forged. It spoke of a child born from fire, a being destined either to bring salvation or destruction. That child's name was Ne Zha. The world of Ne Zha was one torn between the celestial and the mortal. Above, the Jade Emperor ruled with divine authority, his will shaping the heavens. Below, the Dragon King of the Eastern Seas guarded his realm, ancient and proud. And somewhere between these worlds, on the shores of Chentang Pass, lived a small mortal family whose destiny was bound to shake the balance of the universe itself. Ne Zha was no ordinary boy. Born from a celestial pearl infused with divine energy, he carried within him immense power. But fate is never simple. That sacred pearl was split into two halves, one radiant and pure, filled with heavenly light, and the other corrupted, twisted by demonic essence. The divine pearl was reborn as Ao Bing, the Dragon King's noble son, and the corrupted one became Ne Zha. From the moment of his birth, the heavens feared him. The gods whispered his name as a curse, and even among mortals he was an outcast, misunderstood, feared, rejected. Yet deep inside, Ne Zha was just a boy, yearning to be seen, to be loved, to prove he was more than his cursed fate. Under the guidance of his master Taiyi Zhenren, Ne Zha learned the ways of discipline and control. He fought to suppress the darkness within, to channel his demonic power for good. He wanted, desperately, to be the hero his parents believed he could be. But destiny rarely listens to hope, for beyond the clouds the heavens were already preparing to end him. The celestial decree was clear. When the time came, the demon child must die, before his existence threatened the balance of the world. And then everything began to unravel. The day the Dragon Clan rose against humanity, the day the heavens watched as fire met water, and the two fates, Ao Bing and Ne Zha, collided. In the original story, Ne Zha made the ultimate choice. He defied his demonic nature, embraced sacrifice, and redeemed himself through love and courage. He became the protector of humanity, the boy who rose above his curse. But what if he hadn't? What if, in that final moment, Ne Zha stopped resisting the darkness inside? What if, instead of denying it, he embraced it? What if Ne Zha became the very demon the gods feared he would be? The battle at Chentang Pass takes a darker turn. The sky burns crimson, the sea boils beneath the wrath of the Dragon Clan. Ne Zha, surrounded, wounded, betrayed by destiny itself, feels the weight of every cruel whisper, every divine judgment. He remembers the gods laughing, the mortals screaming, his parents begging for his salvation, while the heavens marked him for death, and something inside him snaps. The once bright light in his eyes fades to black flame. His aura twists, his breath grows heavy, and the fiery wheel beneath his feet roars like an infernal storm. The spirit of the demon orb awakens, fully. Its voice, cold, ancient, seductive, whispers, "They never wanted you to be their hero, only their scapegoat." Ne Zha's heart trembles, tears mix with fire. The storm above halts for a moment, as if the heavens themselves hold their breath. Then he speaks. No more. His voice cuts through the storm like a blade. The demonic sigil on his forehead ignites, spreading across his body like living fire. The ground trembles. His master cries out, "Ne Zha, resist it. That path will consume you." But Ne Zha only smiles, a sad, broken smile. For once, master, I will not fight what I am. The wind howls, the ocean recoils, and from that moment on, the heavens lose their hold on him. The boy, who once tried to be good, vanishes, and in his place, the demon god of fire is born. If you're enjoying this dark and epic journey with Ne Zha, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more alternative ending stories, epic what-if scenarios, and cinematic adventures you won't see anywhere else. Now let's continue with our video. His transformation is apocalyptic. Wings of flame burst from his back, his eyes burn with infernal rage. Every chain the gods placed upon his soul shatters in an explosion of light and shadow. Lightning tears the sky asunder. The seas split open, revealing molten earth beneath. Ao Bing, standing before him, watches in horror. Ne Zha, this isn't you, he pleads. Ne Zha's answer is simple. It's who I was always meant to be. He raises his spear. The flames spiral upward, a vortex that devours the heavens' light, and with one devastating strike, the war truly begins. The flames of rebellion consumed the horizon. Ne Zha stood in the heart of the battlefield, his fiery spear cutting through the storm. The heavens above crackled with divine fury, yet no light could pierce the darkness now rising from him. Mortals watched in awe and terror as the boy they once feared became something far beyond their understanding. The once mischievous child of Chentang Pass now towered like a god of vengeance. Every breath he drew bent the air around him. Every heartbeat echoed like thunder. The gods had called him a demon, and now he would show them what that truly meant. The dragons fell first. Their shining scales melted into ash beneath his flames. The ocean, once a realm of pride and grace, turned into a boiling sea of despair. Ao Bing fought with every ounce of his courage, his icy breath colliding against the inferno of Ne Zha's rage. But fire devours all. When their weapons clashed, the world trembled, heavenly mountains split apart, the stars dimmed. Each strike was not just a battle of strength, but of destiny itself, the will of the gods against the wrath of the Forsaken. Ao Bing's voice broke through the chaos. Ne Zha, stop! This isn't the way. You're letting the darkness win. Ne Zha's answer was cold and heavy, carrying centuries of divine cruelty. There was never light for me, Ao Bing. Only judgment. Only chains. He thrust his spear forward. Flames erupted, swallowing the ice dragon whole. When the smoke cleared, Ao Bing lay broken, his wings shattered, his eyes reflecting sorrow, not hatred. In that silence, Ne Zha felt something unfamiliar. Not triumph, not relief, but emptiness. He looked down at the friend he had once admired, and for a fleeting moment, the boy he used to be, the boy who laughed, who dreamed, tried to reach through the fire. But the voice of the demon orb whispered again, "Mercy is weakness. They will never understand you." And the last fragment of innocence inside him burned away. From that day on, Ne Zha no longer fought for justice. He fought for liberation, his own, and that of every being cast aside by the heavens. The mortal world began to tremble under his rise. Villages were reduced to ruins. The skies remained forever crimson. The gods sent armies of celestial warriors, divine beasts and holy sages to stop him. None returned. In the Jade Palace, fear took root. For the first time, the heavens themselves felt powerless. The Jade Emperor gathered his council. They spoke of balance, of order, of punishment. But deep down, they all knew the truth. They had created their own destroyer. Meanwhile, Ne Zha's power grew beyond comprehension. The fire within him no longer obeyed his will. It was his will. His aura stretched across realms, corrupting the flow of spiritual energy, turning sacred rivers into rivers of magma, holy mountains into blackened scars upon the earth. Yet amid his conquest, there remained one place untouched, his home, Chentang Pass. Ne Zha returned there one night, walking through the ashes of the world he had reshaped. The once lively village lay silent, its people gone, its walls scorched by his flames. He entered his old home, the door creaking like a ghost, remembering the past. Inside, the air was heavy with memories. The laughter of his childhood, the warmth of his mother's embrace, the sound of his father's proud, trembling voice. He saw them, his parents standing before him, eyes filled not with fear, but heartbreak. His mother stepped forward, her hands trembling. "My son, what have you become?" Ne Zha lowered his gaze, his voice cracked between rage and sorrow. "I became what they made me, mother, what they all said I was." His father clenched his fists. "You were never their judgment to carry. You were our hope." For a moment, the fire around Ne Zha flickered. Hope, that fragile word, struck something deep within him. But the whispers came again, darker this time. "They pity you. They fear you. They will betray you." And the flames erupted once more. The house crumbled around them, swallowed by fire. Through the chaos, his mother's voice cried out, "Even in darkness you are still our son." Then silence. When the flames died, only ashes remained, and Ne Zha, now more alone than ever, walked into the night. From that moment, the world changed. Without the balance of the Dragon Clan or the mercy of the heavens, chaos spread unchecked. Volcanoes erupted across continents. The sky bled red for days without end. The mortal realm became a wasteland of despair. But to Ne Zha it was freedom. For the first time, no god commanded him. No mortal begged for his salvation. He was both creation and destruction, the storm and the silence after. The heavens grew desperate. Taiyi Zhenren, his old master, watched from above with tears in his eyes. He knew there was still a fragment of light hidden somewhere within that fiery heart. But reaching it would mean facing the full wrath of his former student. The gods prepared their final stand. They forged a weapon from the pure essence of the divine pearl, the last remaining light of creation. And they chose their champion, Ao Bing, reborn from the remnants of ice and sorrow. This time, the two would not fight as friends, but as the embodiment of heaven and hell itself. The world had fallen silent. Cities turned to dust. Oceans swallowed themselves. Only the endless red glow of fire painted the sky, a burning testament to Ne Zha's wrath. In the heavens, the Jade Palace trembled. Its golden pillars, once symbols of divine perfection, were now cracked by the echoes of fear. The gods gathered in their final council, faces pale with the weight of their own creation. They had underestimated the child they condemned. They had sown fear and reaped annihilation. Now there was only one hope: Ao Bing, reborn from the shards of the divine pearl, the son of the Dragon King, no longer mortal, no longer bound by ocean or sky. He rose from the depths, forged anew by both grief and purpose. His armor shimmered with celestial frost. His eyes carried the calm of water and the fury of justice. The heavens armed him with the divine weapon, a blade born from the purest light, capable of cutting through shadow itself. It was called Qianming, the blade of fate. As the last divine trumpet echoed across the realms, the final war began. From the skies, armies of celestial warriors descended, each step cracking thunder across the clouds. From below, Ne Zha emerged, surrounded by rivers of molten fire, his spear spinning in his hand like a fragment of the sun. The two forces collided. Heaven and hell clashed as one. Light and flame devoured the sky until even time seemed to stop in awe of their fury. Ne Zha moved like a storm unleashed, his flames consuming divine soldiers as if they were made of paper. Each swing of his spear carved through the ranks, leaving behind trails of burning air. The gods rained light upon him, but their purity melted before his power. Ao Bing descended through the chaos, his blade gleaming, his wings of frost cutting through the heat. The two locked eyes once more. Brother, rival, reflection. Ao Bing spoke first, his voice steady and sorrowful. Ne Zha, I came not to destroy you, but to save what remains of you. Ne Zha's answer was quiet, almost human. Then you have come to die. The ground beneath them shattered as their weapons met. Spear and sword collided in bursts of light that tore the heavens open. The earth cracked, mountains rose and fell, and oceans vanished into steam. The elements themselves screamed as creation fought against its own corruption. Ao Bing's strikes were precise, guided by divine will. Ne Zha's movements were pure instinct, rage, sorrow, freedom. Each blow carried the memory of betrayal, the weight of destiny denied. As they fought, the sky above began to split, reality itself breaking under their power. From the void, ancient spirits watched, whispering that this was the end of balance, that no matter who triumphed, the world would never be the same again. Ao Bing's blade found its mark. He cut through Ne Zha's shoulder, the light searing against fire. For a moment, Ne Zha staggered, pain flickering in his eyes. But then he laughed, a sound both terrifying and sorrowful. You still don't understand, Ao Bing. Pain is not my end, it is my fuel. His flames surged anew, darker, deeper, no longer red, but black. They devoured even the divine light, pulling strength from the chaos itself. The demon orb within him pulsed, merging completely with his soul. The sky turned void. Even the gods watching from above began to fade, their power meaningless before the abyss now born. Ao Bing fell to his knees, overwhelmed by the weight of darkness pressing against him. His blade dimmed, its light swallowed. But he did not give up. He remembered Ne Zha as the boy who once smiled, who once dreamed of being free. He called out through the storm, "If there's still any part of you left, fight it. You are not the monster they say you are." For the first time, Ne Zha hesitated. The fire around him flickered again. Through the black flame, a faint echo of his mother's voice rose, soft, fragile, pleading, "My son, you are still our light." Ne Zha froze. Memories struck him like lightning, laughter, love, pain, sacrifice. His chest burned not from fury, but from something deeper, regret. The demon orb roared within him, furious. "Do not falter! You are beyond them, beyond gods, beyond fate." But Ne Zha's grip on his spear loosened. For the first time in eons, he whispered, "Maybe I never wanted to be beyond anything." Ao Bing seized the moment. He rose again, gathering every fragment of divine light left in the heavens. His blade glowed with unbearable radiance. He spoke one final prayer. "Forgive me, brother." He plunged Qianming through Ne Zha's chest. The impact echoed through every realm. The fire of the demon god erupted outward, engulfing everything in sight. Heaven's armies were swept away, mountains melted, the sea vanished into vapor. But amid the explosion, something changed. The flames no longer screamed with rage. They shimmered, almost peaceful. The black fire turned crimson once more, like the sunset over Chentang Pass. Ao Bing fell beside him, his armor cracked, his wings fading. Ne Zha looked at him, his eyes no longer filled with hate, only exhaustion. "I was never meant to destroy the world," he said softly, "only to be free of it." Ao Bing nodded, his hand reaching out. "And in the end, brother, you were." As the world burned around them, the two sons of destiny lay side by side, one of fire, one of water, their powers fading into silence. Above them, the heavens crumbled. The jade palace shattered, its light falling like rain upon the mortal realm. And for the first time in eternity, the gods wept. But from that destruction, something new began to stir. A spark, gentle, small, rising from the ashes, not divine, not demonic, something in between, something human. When the light returned, it came not as thunder, but as silence. The war between heaven and hell had ended, not in victory, not in glory, but in quiet ruin. The sky no longer burned, the seas no longer raged, only a grey stillness stretched across what once was the world. The jade palace was gone, its fragments scattered among the clouds like the bones of forgotten gods. The celestial armies had faded into mist, their songs of order and justice lost to the wind. And upon the cracked earth, where mountains had melted and rivers had died, two figures lay motionless, bound forever by destiny, Ne Zha and Bing, the demon and the dragon, the curse and the redemption, opposites forever entwined. For a long time there was nothing, no sound, no motion, only the soft whisper of ashes falling upon the ground, as if the world itself mourned. But then, a spark. It rose from Ne Zha's heart, faint, trembling yet alive, a single ember that refused to fade. It danced through the air, drifting between the ruins of heaven and earth, glowing brighter with each breath of wind. From that ember came warmth. From that warmth came life. Grass began to grow across the scorched plains. Rain returned, falling gently upon the wounded world. The oceans filled once more, washing away the blood and sorrow of ages past. Humanity emerged from the shadows, blinking into the new dawn. They looked to the heavens and found them empty. No gods ruled above, no divine voice commanded their fate. For the first time, the world belonged to mortals alone. Legends spread through the villages, stories of a boy born from fire, cursed by the heavens, who fought both gods and demons alike. Some called him the Destroyer, others the Savior, but all agreed on one truth: his flames had burned away the chains of destiny. In the silence left behind, people learned to build again. Without divine guidance, they forged their own path, flawed, fragile, but free. Temples rose not to worship gods, but to remember the lessons carved by their fall. At the heart of this new world, atop the ruins of Chentang Pass, a single flame still burned. It never spread, it never died, it simply remained, a quiet guardian, neither holy nor cursed. And sometimes, when the wind howled just right, villagers swore they could hear a voice in the fire, a voice whispering not of power, but of peace. It said, "Balance always begins in chaos." They called it the flame of rebirth, the last gift of Ne Zha, the demon god who defied fate. Bing's legend too endured. The dragon who rose from sorrow, the one who faced his brother not with hate, but with love. The oceans that returned were said to carry his spirit, calm and endless, watching over mankind in silence. Together, fire and water had remade the world, not through victory, but through understanding. And so, a new era began, one where mortals no longer prayed for mercy, but for wisdom, where heroes were not born from divine pearls, but from the choices they made in the face of despair. In this new dawn, the sun rose differently. It shone not with the golden light of gods, but with the red hue of a world reborn, the color of fire meeting the sea, and within that light something eternal lingered. Ne Zha's soul, freed from the curse, drifted through the heavens weightless. He watched the world he had broken and remade. He saw children playing where ashes once lay, mothers smiling beneath a peaceful sky. He saw mortals choosing kindness without command, strength without cruelty. For the first time, he smiled, not with pride, but with peace. He whispered to the wind, "Maybe this was what I was meant to become. Not a hero, not a demon, but a spark." The spark glided across the horizon, merging with the sunlight, disappearing into the warmth of a new day. And far below, upon the earth, the flame atop Chentang Pass flickered once more, brighter than before. Generations passed. Empires rose and fell. Yet the story of the boy who defied the heavens lived on. Mothers told it to their children. Warriors carried it into battle. Philosophers carved his name into stone, not as a god, but as a reminder that even those born in darkness can bring light. And so, when the storms returned, as they always do, people no longer prayed for divine intervention. They lit fires instead, tiny flames scattered across the land, symbols of resilience, of hope, of rebellion. Each one whispered the same name: Ne Zha, the one who burned the world and saved it. For in the end, his greatest act was not the war he fought, nor the gods he defied, but the world he left behind, one free from chains, where every soul could choose its own path. And somewhere beyond time, in the endless horizon where fire meets sky, two figures stand side by side, a boy of flame and a dragon of water. They watch the world they remade, silent, eternal. Neither heaven nor hell could claim them, for they had become something greater, balance, light born from shadow, peace forged in fire. And as the last words of the legend fade into eternity, one truth remains: even a demon can bring the dawn. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. See you on next video.